Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is 2911 Homestead. Today we're gonna kind of chat about being a homestead in two states, what the challenges, the logistics are, and how we make it work. So you've seen footage on the channel of different things of the barn being built and all that. So right now there's 23 acres in East Tennessee that has a barn on it, and that is about it. There's no power, there's no water, there's no other infrastructure up there. We have when we have animals here in Georgia that we have to take care of, but we also have to keep getting the land up there ready for us to eventually move to full time. I know we've had some questions in the past about like how we make it work, how we do it. One of those is how do we plan on what we're doing? And how do we make that work in a weekend? It's mostly me going back and forth right now. You come up for the major holidays
Yeah,
usually,
or big projects
or big
that I can
projects.
actually help with.
Yeah. And that also means, too, taking up equipment all the time. So, like, while it's 2 hours away, it takes a couple days to get ready to even go if on a weekend between working full time, taking care of things around here. And so it is a lot, but that's where we eventually want to live. So we have to start it now because if we don't, then we're going to have no place to live at some point. So one of the things that we got the barn, like I said, we got the barn up there and we need to get power to it and water to it. So that's the next big project. But it is incredibly difficult because you have things that you have to get done where you're living and things to take care of and animals to take care of, and things happen here. A few weeks ago, we had a storm roll through and it dropped a limb on the rabbit food house, and we were outside at after midnight,
It was
12:30,
so late.
20. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm using a chainsaw to try to get
A battery powered one.
a battery powered chainsaw, which I will tell you, like, I love my gas chainsaws. I love my battery chainsaws probably even more, especially for that because it's not loud. So I didn't wake up half the neighborhood to do that. We got flashlights out there just trying to get it to a place where
The rabbits were safe.
the rabbits were safe. So there's those logistics, right? But so most of the time you stay here just to be able to take care of the animals. Our daughter will stay here a lot of times and take care of the animals for us if we are both going up. But there's nowhere to stay up there currently. So I either camp in the truck or have to get a local hotel, which
Adds up.
adds up. It adds up a lot.
Which takes money away from what we want to accomplish up there.
Yeah, where we are potentially putting our house has to be totally cleared,
In our workshop.
and our workshop. So the plan is to put up a 40 by 48 workshop with two 12-foot by 48 feet by 48 foot lean-tos to start. And then we are looking at doing a shed to house conversion for our living quarters, our living space. But that will happen once we're there. So we have to build some infrastructure up there now so that we can move there without it being there being a lot of friction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, it's a work in progress. It's not easy. It is 2 hours away, but it's probably some of the most beautiful country you've ever seen. There's not when our family was looking, we were looking for land. We did look for land from here in North Georgia to western North Carolina, in Tennessee, even northern Alabama, and northwest Georgia. But there wasn't really anything that we were looking at in Tennessee. And I love Tennessee. I've always loved Tennessee.
We had joked about retiring to Chattanooga when.
Yeah. So you love it. We both spent time there in our early 20s. We love it there. And so our family started looking for land in East Tennessee, and we found it. And it's an awesome piece of property in a non-busy, more touristy town that probably isn't going to grow a whole lot over the next 50 years as far as people go, but it will grow in tourism more than likely, but that's okay. It is a growing area with Airbnbs, and it's got the tail of the dragon, got best in class fishing off the river there. It's just a beautiful area. So we're really excited to eventually move there and that be our home base. What are some challenges for you, since you mostly don't get to come on the projects and stuff? I don't think you've been up there since Thanksgiving, right?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen the barn. You haven't seen a lot other improvements that I've made since Thanksgiving up there. I would think that's got to be more difficult than going there every few months. And the logistics of that, you don't get to see any of the progress other than through the videos.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching the same thing you're watching. I think it's not super difficult because I'm having to take care of the animals that we have here. We're preparing to have more animals ready, set to. I think the hardest thing is maintaining life here while trying to start building a life there. Like friends and like a support network, and I would love to find a church. And also at the same time, this is our daughter's last 2 years of high school that we're going into, and we have to be like focused on the here and now for her, not just that this is my dream for our future, which of course we take her into consideration. But this is a really important time of life for her, and I have to be able to just set aside the here things and let you go do the there things. I hate that I don't get to see it as much because I love the land. I'm excited about what the family is doing and how that's all going to be working out. I am super looking forward to the bougie animal aspects, which is not the aspects of animals that you're going to be dealing with as much, but maintaining what we have, preparing it to go, but like still staying really centered here.
Yeah, it is incredibly difficult. And like just a couple weeks ago, I went up and I was just gonna mow. I took the old Ford tractor back up there. So we had the Ford tractor here because we were gonna send it to my father-in-law's brother, and who was gonna tear it apart and repaint it and restore it for us. And so that didn't end up happening as quickly as we thought it was going to, which is totally fine. So I went ahead and took it back to Tennessee because it was just taking up room here. And switched it out, brought the LS back because we're going to do some projects with the backhoe around here for drainage, because we also have to get this house ready to sell.
And it has some projects.
And it has some projects to do. So we're doing that. And so I swapped them out. So a couple weeks ago, I was like, I'm not going to take any equipment with me. I'll just take my truck. It's got tools in it, so if something like really bad happens, I'm good to go. And I mowed for about 2.5, 3 hours. Got it all the way back to the barn, and the power steering cylinder and the bracket and everything just snapped right off of the side of the easy one. And it was like 3 o'clock or so in the afternoon. Which was not that late, but I was not staying up there. I was driving home. So it was a little too late to get into trying to fix it, and I didn't have those right tools with me. The bolts snapped off, so I would have had to try to extract those bolts, rethread, and get bolts and stuff like that. So there just wasn't enough time to do all that. So I parked it in the barn where I left it, and which was great. It was underneath the cover where I wanted it to be anyways. So I came home. But there's things like that happen that just put a wrench in anything that you try to do up there. So you got to make your equipment in top shape before you even get there. So make sure you're doing your maintenance on everything. Make sure your tires are inflated right, your tractor is strapped down correctly, or you'll end up on the side of the road with 2 blown tires.
Not that we know anything about that.
Yeah. And so you'll see I did some updates to equipment trailer. I now have 2 of them to be exact. But that's the thing, like you got to make sure you're doing everything right, that your equipment is in top shape, because you depend on all that stuff every time you drive up there. With all that said, we love that you guys are a part of this journey with us. And if some of this stuff is your dream and you can't find property that's close to you or not that far, if you have to go to another state and be 2.5, 3 hours away from it, you can make it work. It's just going to take longer. And that's okay. You will have to hire some things out. I don't like to do that, but you will. And it'll just be what it is. You'll find where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. And if your weaknesses are just like, I can't do that part and you need to hire that part out, hire it out. It's okay to do that. Just because you want to build a self-sustaining, self-sufficient life doesn't mean you can't ask for help. It's hard, but you can. But it's fun. The journey is fun. Driving a tractor, just mowing, brush hogging something is just enjoyable. You playing with the animals or just feeding them sometimes. Sometimes they're called chores for a reason, but sometimes it's okay to do. They're fun to do. So what other things, like, about being here, trying to be up there, what other things are you, like, looking forward to, or like some logistics that you have thought about in your head of things that we need to do sooner than later? Is there anything?
We're going to start prepping for a number of the animals to go up there when Mom and Dad get up there, because they're going to be able to get up there a little before we are. So I'm working on pulling them together. I don't know, either a quintet rabbits. They'll probably move their chickens up. Just stuff like that.
Yeah. So if you ever have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in this video or any videos. So we hope that you enjoyed talking with us a little bit about our journey here, and hopefully you enjoyed some of the footage that you saw throughout the video of the land. And you'll be seeing a lot more of that, and you'll be seeing a lot more videos on equipment, on recipes, on canning, on food dehydrating, on taking care of the animals, what to do in different areas and different things. So we hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.